Tell us how did you started your journey? What inspired you? You studied in Oxford University, and then you worked for an investment bank, and suddenly you decided to move to Bharat, all the way to Bharat, and learn Sanskrit. Can you tell our viewers about your journey, please?
In hindsight, it seems a very straightforward, straight line journey. But at the time, nothing. It was never. Every step was never what I expected. Really, it started in childhood. There were things that are happening in childhood that I couldn't explain in context with what was happening in my life. And so I knew that there was going to be something happening when I was going to be around the age of 30. But I didn't know what that was. I just knew that it meant the end of the world. I didn't know that it meant the end of the world for me. And as that 30th birthday came looming in 2000, so from around 1995, I was getting very interested in the concept of spirit and mind, body, spirit centers. And I remember saying that I don't know what spirit, I want to know what spirit is. And I would like to make like a mind, body, spirit place. But I know these people also don't know what spirit is. So I was on a quest. Mm-hmm. And then in my career, suddenly all of a sudden one day it was like I had everything in my hands, but I was so empty inside. And in hindsight, I was moving towards this moment where there were literally, it was running around in my mind again and again and again, who am I? And it was like it was just like I was chanting, who am I? Why am I? Who am I? Why am I? And I ended up in a meditation group, which changed my experience for life. I knew that that was what I wanted to do with my life. And I knew that this was the thing that I'd been looking for the first time in my life. I felt complete. And as a consequence of that, I started following a teacher who was a disciple of Brahmrishi Vishwatma Bhavaraji, whose ashram is in Heston, looked after by Suryaji these days. And I went around the world and with Swamiji, and there came a point that Guruji, Brahmrishi Vishwatma Bhavaraji, had said to Swami Vigyandev, you know, that girl that's traveling around with you, she needs to come to India. Mm-hmm. And that was arranged for June 2000 for a 40-day retreat. And all of a sudden, before that happened, that Swami had left his body. Guruji was in the UK. Guruji said that I could come to India. He said, how long are you coming for? I said, I'm going to come for, I have a year's ticket and then we'll see. But my first night in Haridwar, when Guruji asked me that question, how long are you going to stay? I said, 10 years and then we'll see. And obviously that's 20 years ago now. So amazing. I never looked back. And it was very, very lucky, and as I say, in hindsight, it all looked such a straight line, but it was all so unexpected at the time. And as soon as I came to India, I just knew where I was meant to be. And Guruji was teaching the Gita. And I started learning Sanskrit from that. I started learning to chant the Gita by looking at transliteration and the Devanagari letters on top, listening to shlokas. And that is what fueled my passion for Sanskrit, and also gave me the realization that Sanskrit was an integral part of spiritual practice, because there's very special energies in Sanskrit. It's not a language, there's something really magical that is beyond form that we can explain about the Sanskrit language.
Yeah.
And so that's what led to me properly studying.
That's amazing. Such a beautiful journey.